The date is April 24th, 1967. Location: the upper atmosphere. Speed: 17,000 miles per hour. A man, encased in a metal box, is plummeting toward Earth, engulfed in flames. His name is Vladimir Komarov. We will never know exactly what was going through his mind inside that capsule. But we know one thing. Komarov knew this mission was a suicide run. When he sat in that seat, he knew he wasn't getting up again. But he went anyway. Why? Because if he had refused, the man sitting in that chair would have been his best friend. The world's first space hero, Yuri Gagarin. Our story begins months before that terrible fall, in the cold corridors of Moscow. 1967 marked the 50th anniversary of the October Revolution. The Soviet leadership wanted to put on a spectacular show for the world, and especially for America. The plan was insane. 2 spacecraft would launch, dock in orbit, and cosmonauts would transfer between ships in midair. But there was a fatal problem. Soyuz 1 wasn't ready. When engineers inspected the craft, they found exactly 203 structural defects. You heard that right? 203 errors. This machine had no business being in space. The reports were sent to the KGB. But no one dared to say no to Brezhnev. The engineers who wrote the report were threatened with exile. The mission would not be canceled. That metal coffin was going to launch. Komarov was an experienced pilot. He knew the gravity of the situation. One day he turned to his friend, the KGB agent Vladimir Komarov, and said the famous words, "I'm not coming back from this flight." So why didn't he resign? Why didn't he say, "I'm not going"? Because his backup was Yuri Gagarin. If Komarov called in sick, the Soviet jewel, the national hero Gagarin, would be strapped into that capsule. Komarov's answer was simple. "I can't do that to Yura. He's too young. The Soviet Union needs him. I will go." This wasn't a mission. It was a sacrifice. The morning of April 23rd, 1967. The Baikonur Cosmodrome. Vladimir Komarov boarded the bus to the launch pad. Witnesses say he was eerily calm. He sang quietly to himself. Why was he singing? Perhaps to hide his fear, or perhaps to calm his friend. Yuri Gagarin was there too, fully suited up, demanding to take Komarov's place until the very last minute. But the officers held him back. At 3:35 a.m., the engines ignited. Soyuz 1 lifted off into the night sky. Perfect trajectory. Perfect separation. For a brief moment, the mission control room cheered. It seemed like a miracle. But as soon as the capsule reached orbit, the nightmare began. The ship was supposed to deploy 2 large solar panels to generate power. The left one opened, but the right one remained stuck. Without that panel, the ship had only half its power. Systems began to shut down one by one. The navigation sensors failed. Komarov was blind. He was spinning out of control in the void. After 18 orbits around the Earth, the fuel was running low. Komarov was tired, but his mind was clear. Against all odds, he managed to manually orient the ship for re-entry. It was a feat of incredible piloting skill. For a brief moment, Mission Control thought he might survive. He entered the atmosphere. The capsule became a shooting star, painting a streak of fire across the morning sky. At 7 kilometers high, the main parachute was supposed to deploy. Komarov pulled the release handle. He waited for the jerk of the ropes, but it never came. The main chute remained trapped in its container. Desperate, he activated the reserve parachute. But tragic bad luck struck again. The reserve chute got tangled with the drag chute. Soyuz 1 was now falling like a stone. No brakes, no hope. Impact occurred at 6:24 a.m. The capsule hit the ground at 144 kilometers per hour. The explosion was instant. When recovery teams arrived, all they found was twisted metal and ashes. Vladimir Komarov flew, knowing he wouldn't return. Not for a flag or a medal, but to save a friend. And now, he rests among the stars he loved so much. A silent guardian in the infinite void. To explore the hidden side of science and history, join our archive, subscribe, and witness the unknown.